Engine?
Check.
Fuel?
Check.
Tires?
Check.
Helmet? Helmet?
Check.
Okay, aerodynamic he's not, but he sure can make some tracks. Mickey Speedway USA. 16 magical tracks, 4-player action. Mickey, Donald, and the whole Disney crew.
Goofy?
Check.
Rated E for everyone.
Oh my god, there would be so many fines if that were to actually happen. Anyway, good evening folks, hope you all had a good work week, and tonight we are playing Mickey Speedway USA. This game was released in the year 2000 and was created by Rareware. It was released for the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. So a lot of you guys might be looking at this and thinking that it's a really random choice for the live stream. So why did I decide to look at this one? Well, for starters, last year I looked at Diddy Kong Racing around this time of year, mostly because it had a couple Christmas themed tracks, which just, you know, were of the season for the time. But it's not something I could play again, and without any real Christmas games I can think of that I could play that would be worthwhile, I decided that I'm just gonna start looking at kart racers every year around December. So I started thinking about what I would cover next. I'm currently working through Mario Kart right now, so I'm not gonna touch that at the moment. So I thought I'd go with what was probably the third best kart racer on the Nintendo 64, and that is Mickey Speedway USA. And this is actually a pretty fitting game to follow up Diddy Kong Racing with, because it was created by Rareware, believe it or not. They actually had a brief deal with Disney where they could make games based off of Mickey Mouse and his friends. And they still had the Diddy Kong Racing engine lying around, so they had some people make a quick kart racer for it. And I actually remember having this one as a kid. I remember getting it as a Christmas present one year. As one, I remember me and my brothers playing a lot. I actually have some really fond memories playing this game, and it was a good time revisiting it this past week. I decided I'm just going to play it myself. I played Diddy Kong Racing by myself last year. So I think it's okay if I play now, and plus I want to play Banjo-Tooie next week, so I don't want someone else overriding my choice there. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. As to how I'm going to be playing this game, Mickey's Motor Speedway has yet to see any kind of re-release, so I'm going to have to play it straight off the old N64, and thankfully I still have my old carts and it works, so let's see what we got here. Hopefully this starts on the first go. Oh, that's certainly not market quality. They were actually very hands-on in the development of this game. This is around that time when Disney Interactive was really just a sticker on a game. They were just brokering deals with anyone who wanted to make the games. Pretty lively title screen, I must say. Just gonna turn the volume down a little bit on my end. And of course, right into the gameplay for the queue, which was common for Rareware games at the time. This was still the time of queues in video game stores, so something like this just made sense to show off the game. Back when you actually needed a Rumble Pack. I actually did get myself a Rumble Pack for this video. How it works for the old N64 controls is you gotta plug it in like that, and that's how you get Rumble in these old games. I didn't even know that this game had Rumble Pack support. I'm glad I picked that up. And I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of this screen is, because as far as I know, it serves no real purpose other than to show off the graphics. But, you know, it is pretty good graphics, isn't it? And it's a neat touch that they got the N64 there as well. That's great. This screen was convenient for checking my sound, though, so that was a good thing. Okay, so basically what Mickey Speedway is a Mario Kart game just with a Mickey Mouse paint job. So the cast of characters, of course, includes Mickey Mouse. You also got Donald, Goofy, Daisy and Minnie, and even Pete as well. Over the course of the game, you can unlock Dewey and Louie, and if you manage to get Platinum on all the cups, you can unlock Ludwig von Drake too as well. If you have the Game Boy Color version of the game and an N64 transfer pack, you can also unlock Huey, which I was able to do. I came across the Game Boy Color game by complete accident, so I was able to unlock him for the live stream. I asked Steffi to do a little video showing off the Game Boy Color version of the game, so be on the lookout for that in the future, guys. So, in regards to the roster of characters, there are problems with the balancing that we're going to get into, so I'm going to try to play as many different characters as possible. But we're going to start with Mickey Mouse. And I really do love just the general aesthetic of this game, too. This is just a really fun menu screen with the toy blocks and everything, the TV in the background. It's just really cool. We're gonna go to options real quick, though. Something I want to turn on just to show you guys. I know a lot of people who have played this game are saying, no, don't turn that on, but it's something I want to critique with the sound, so I am going to do that. And we'll just start going through the different cups as well. So you got 3 different engines, and that changes how good a driver the other racers are, as well as your general speed. Like in Mario Kart, you can get gold to bronze, depending on how well you do. And if you win every single race in the cup, you get a platinum cup, which I did in this one. Gonna race on professional, let's get to it. Hell yeah! Started off this trip in the city of Speed, my hometown of Indianapolis. And not off to a great start. Okay, so the first thing we always talk about are the controls, and the controls in Mickey Speedway are actually fantastic. Me and Steffi talked a lot about this in Mario Kart 64, as well as I talked about it with Diddy Kong Racing as well, but in a lot of old kart racers, the handling feels a little weird. It always feels like the back end is trying to slide out, which can make it feel really imprecise. But that's not really the case in Mickey Speedway. The handling in this game actually feels really tight. Yeah, I'm not doing too well, though. And of course, you got a selection of items, too, which you activate simply by pressing the Z button. They're gadgets sent to you by Ludwig von Drake, which is a cool touch. So, what exactly is going on with the plot of this game? Well, the plot of Mickey's Motor Speedway is that the Weasels have kidnapped Mickey's dog Pluto for his diamond collar. So, Mickey and the gang, along with Pete for some reason, hop in race cars and go after them, chasing the, what are they? The Weasels all over North America. It's kind of a silly plot, and how racing came into the mix, I really don't know, but it's context. Definitely didn't do so hot in that first race, and it's primarily because I'm playing as Mickey Mouse. So, as I said, the balancing in this game is pretty sloppy. So, the initial 6 characters you have, which are Mickey, Donald, Pete, Minnie, and Daisy, all 3 of them have their own strengths and weaknesses, but they're all broken up into basically 3 categories. Mickey and Donald are all-arounders, no real strengths, no real weaknesses. Minnie and Daisy, they have high handling and strong acceleration, but a low top speed. and Goofy and Pete have top speed, but are painfully slow to accelerate. And unfortunately, despite them all being strong in a particular area, they don't really excel either. Like, as soon as you unlock one of the nephews, you know, Huey, Dewey, or Louie, those are the characters you're probably always going to use because they all have stats that far eclipse the basic characters. It's part of the reason I'm doing so poorly here. I've become so accustomed to playing as Dewey, that's my preferred choice, and with him I can just blow through these cups with little to no issue. Man, these characters are getting really far ahead of me, aren't they? One thing I'm sure people are probably getting annoyed with is the constant chatter between the characters. One of the things about the N64 is that it didn't really have the best, well, because of the cartridge format, you couldn't really have very crisp audio, but towards the end of the console's life cycle, they started to develop technology that allowed them to fit more data on the cartridges, which allowed for crisper audio. So it actually is pretty impressive that the voice acting in this game is so clear. But my god, do the characters get annoying in this game. They just do not shut up. And really, the presentation in this game is just absolutely stellar as well. Really, this could pass as a early GameCube game, I would say. It's so good. The character models are detailed, the levels are lush. I love these menus too. I mean, the fact that you're looking at the scores on this chalkboard, it's like it's a amateur racing league or something. It's great. And of course, all the tracks are based on different locations around the U.S. Already been to Indianapolis and San Francisco, and now we're in New Mexico. Yeah. Oh, shut up, Pete. Yeah, just like in some of the Mario Kart games, the more tokens you collect, the faster you go, so you want to try to collect those if you can. Though the increase in speed you get is pretty minor, I would say, so it's not a big deal if you're not getting all the tokens. I really do like that they have Jim Cummings voicing Pete, though. I just love that voice. Hate the character, but love the voice. My god, these characters need to stop talking. The collection of items is pretty standard. You got your oil slick, you got your projectiles. Nothing really all that spectacular, but what can you do? I do kind of miss the upgradable weapon system from Diddy Kong Racing, though. And I also do miss the boats and airplanes, but I have a feeling this game was made for a much smaller budget than Diddy Kong Racing and probably didn't have the same amount of time to cook either. This game runs on the same engine as Diddy Kong Racing, by the way. It's amazing what a few years can do in regards to leveraging the power of a graphics engine. Second place, I can live with that. Oh, I still got one more race. Here's one of the levels I always remember when I was a kid. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting the head start. Usually I'm pretty good about that. It's probably some input lag with the capture card. Somehow I always manage to get Pete. Ah, you missed! Oh, shut up, Doc. You do have the power slide, though. It's not really quite as useful as you would think. It doesn't really make you turn all that much tighter. And you can't get a speed boost off it either, so I don't really find myself using the power slide all that much. Ah! Shut up, Pete. Ah! Don't apologize, Mickey, this is a race. Pretty good sense of speed, too, at least when you're playing the game on the highest setting. On any other setting, it's honestly really slow. God, I hate that. It's almost as bad as the coin power-up in Mario Kart 8. I'd just rather not have the coins in the game in general. It's just a waste of an item slot. I don't know why, I just find that soundbite of Pete saying that didn't hurt really amusing. I probably didn't win the cup, but I at least placed, so that's something. Oh, get over it, Daisy. Some really funky music in this game, too. I like how Mickey pit stops Donald there, that's great. That's what you call that maneuver when you nudge the tail end of the car to make him spin out. Good for you, Goofy, good for you. These really are some impressive graphics for the time, aren't they? Alright, so we're gonna switch my playable character real quick. Since I'm not gonna play as Donald since he has the same stats as Mickey, I think I'm gonna go with Daisy for the next round. That being said, I am going to turn the character speak off because it's just super annoying to listen to. And all the people I see review this game always comment on how annoying it is, but they never mention that you can just go ahead and turn it off. Alright, let's race. Los Angeles. This is not what I would expect Los Angeles to look like. So, Daisy and Minnie, they're characters that prioritize acceleration and handling over speed. But to be honest, that doesn't really help them a whole lot because their low speed stat just means they can't really keep up with everyone else. So, that's kind of a problem. See, I'm not even gaining on Minnie there. As long as I stay in 4th place, though, I can move on to the next race. One thing I do like about the baseball in this game is that it's sort of a two-way power-up. You can, of course, shoot it forward, but you can also just drop it behind you and it'll stay on the track, kind of like a banana peel in Mario Kart. Out of my way, Mickey. Yeah, so that's the problem with Daisy and Minnie. Just to prove a point, I'm gonna exit out of this and try Goofy, and then if I can't win that first race with Goofy, I'm just gonna switch to Dewey and show you guys what a big improvement his stats are. Actually, I think I'm gonna be Pete instead. I like his voice. I kind of wish this was the Pete from Goof Troop, though, where rather than just being an outright villain, he's just sort of the asshole friend that he is in the Goofy movie, for instance. Aw, oh, man, you see how slow he accelerates! Up yours, Daisy. Yeah, so if you get hit with any items when you're playing as Pete or Goofy, you gotta do that slow, agonizing crawl up to top speed. It's so frustrating. It's not a big deal for Pete since he's supposed to suck, but come on. Some people want to play as Goofy. He's a cool character. I might be able to pull off as Pete, though. I did pull off as Pete. Alaska? Kind of looking like South Carolina right now, honestly. God, P is slow. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not gonna win this race. There's no way I'm gonna catch up to everyone now. Look at how far ahead they are of me. Something else a lot of people like to complain about with Mickey's Motor Speedway is they find the track design really bland. I don't know. After all these years, I always do remember a good chunk of them in this game, and I think it is fun for them to all be based off of locations around the US as depicted by a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Though I do kind of wish that they were a bit crazier. There's not as much personality to them as something like Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing, but they are still fun to race on regardless. I might be able to make it to the end of this cup as Pete. Who knows? Where to next? I'm pretty sure that's not where Las Vegas is. I think it's up a little further. Why is he so slow to accelerate? This is one of those levels I always remember when I was a kid. Like, when you're a kid, just the concept of Las Vegas alone is a really cool concept. But then when you go as a kid, you realize it's really boring to go because it's really a place that's more for adults than it is for kids. I remember going with my family way back in the day, but I must have been 12 or 14 at the time, so me and my brother spent most of that part of the trip in the hotel room because they aren't going to let a bunch of snot-nosed kids out on the casino floor. I need to take a trip to Las Vegas at some point. That'd be fun to experience as an adult. Yeah, just like the red shells in Mario Kart 8, you gotta be able to see your target in order to use Racer Tracer. Gungala! Ah, missed him. Go! I should have seen that coming. Definitely not going to place, but at least I'll finish the cup, which is better than nothing. Okay, I'm trying to remember where this is. Ah, Philadelphia. What would be a good Charlie quote for this? This is another pretty memorable track too. Just the harbor theme is really interesting, even though that's probably not the first thing you think of when you think of Philadelphia. At least that's not what I think of. And again, I really don't have much knowledge of Philadelphia outside of the Rocky Steps. And Patty's Pub, of course. I wonder where Pepe Sylvia lives. Mad No Fly is at least better at homing in on its target. And when it hits, it sends them skyward instead of just spins them out like Racer Tracer does. Though you obviously don't get it as much. Oh, that was close. Seriously, Pete, get the lead out. Exactly what I need. You really have to get the invincibility bubble if you hope to place in this game, seriously. Alright, looks like I at least finished this cup, and I'm coming in 4th place, probably. I've never actually seen the trophy screen for that, though. I wonder if I'll even get one. In Mario Kart 64, if you don't place, you get an alternative animation for the trophy ceremony. So, let's see what happens. It's the it's the traditional triple threat, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. So it doesn't even look like Pete gets a mention. So the game is just kind of taunting me right now. Okay. Let's switch to one of the nephews so you guys can see the gap in performance. So far, I placed in 2nd place and 4th place, so watch what I get in this 3rd cup, now that I'm playing as Dewey. Immediately in the lead. Like, do you see the balancing issue here? Like, how easily I'm staying in 1st place right now? Look at the gap! Look at the gap! I'm unprofessional right now. See, that just exemplifies the balancing issue with Mickey's Motor Speedway. The nephews are just far superior performance-wise. It's ridiculous. Like, as soon as you unlock the nephews, just don't bother playing as anyone else, because it's just a complete waste of time. It is a little lame that the 3 unlockable characters are just the nephews, too. For the sake of variety, I would have gone with, like, maybe Uncle Scrooge, Maribel, maybe Max. But, you know, not the 3 nephews, because this is before the reboot of DuckTales. They're all just the same character. I didn't see. Where are we at now? Is this New York? I don't know. Oh no, this is Seattle. It's the, there's a Space Needle in the background. Is this what Seattle looks like? And like, as you're racing through all these levels, I always notice all kinds of, different little details. Like, I keep seeing fire in the background in this level. That's kind of cool. But it really is ridiculous how much better the nephews are in this game. I wonder if Rare realized that they had a balancing issue with the stats of the different characters that included the overpowered nephews just so that players would be able to unlock the extra contents. It is satisfying to cross the finish line because of that great tune you get. Very important in a racing game. About halfway through the stream, looks like we're right on track. My goal was to show off at least every cup in this game. New York City. Just as ugly as I imagined. If there's one place in the world that I never want to visit, it's definitely New York City. I just have no interest in being in a great big crowded city. I don't know why so many people find that appealing. I also don't want to go to New York because I'm afraid to learn that all my favorite comic book characters aren't real. And I know that's a childish thing to say, but what can I say? I love that stuff. I would like to see the Ghostbusters Firehouse, though. It's actually a real working firehouse. They even have the Ghostbusters logo incorporated into their seal. If you look there on the left, you can see the Statue of Liberty as Mickey Mouse. Oh man, that's a fun touch. The level of detail in this game is just so much fun. Honestly, wouldn't mind another game like this, but Disney kind of has their kart racing quota filled with, what is it called? Dream Valley Racing or something? I don't know. I haven't played it. Why are the nephews even driving around in the race cars? I'm pretty sure they aren't old enough to drive. From one crap hole city to another. And we are in a little crap hole right now. Of all the things from Chicago that they could have themed the level off of, why on earth did they pick the sewer system? I mean, that makes no sense, dude. When I think of Chicago, I think of you know, that street that runs underneath the train cars, the train track. I feel like it would have been better to incorporate that into the level and design it so you're going from street level up on top of the train tracks. I think that would have been really cool. But nah, it's the sewers for some reason. It seems like every kart racer has a level in the sewers for some reason. I just realized that doesn't sound like Ludwig von Drake, does it? Yeah, you play as one of the nephews, suddenly the game becomes really boring too. It's times like this that I wish I had brought on some friends to play this. Then again, if I had brought some friends on to play this, I probably would have won anyway. But I didn't want to take that risk. God forbid I had friends over to play this, and this just happens to be the one N64 game that they mastered. Probably going to try to get the crew together for a game of Mario Party 2 for the last stream of the year, and let the winner of that pick whatever game will be played for the first stream of 2025. Oh! Ah. Why'd I do that? I made a huge mistake like that, and I am still in the lead. Like, the race cars in the game were made by Ludwig von Drake. I feel like he was showing some clear favoritism to the nephews here. Yeah, so I won every single race, so I get a platinum medal. You guys have seen that enough. Okay, I'll switch to a different nephew now. I'll be Huey. He even sounds like Dewey. That's one thing you gotta give the DuckTales reboot credit for giving Huey, Dewey, and Louie definitive personalities. Yellowstone, that's a good location. It's Yellowstone National Park, not Yellowstone Ranch from the TV show. Well, Huey's certainly a little slow. See if I can catch up. I may have just had a really bad start here. That's what I get for showing off. I'll just be Dewey for the rest of the stream. That's what I'm used to. Victory vehicles. Eat my dust, Mickey. Around the subject of Mickey Mouse interacting with the nephews, I remember reading somewhere that the showrunners for the DuckTales reboot, they wanted to have episodes where all the famous Mickey Mouse characters appear, and most of them did. Daisy and Goofy made appearances on the show, and the one character that they always wanted to appear on the show was Mickey Mouse, but for whatever reason, Disney just forbade the showrunners from depicting Mickey Mouse on the show, and I cannot fathom why. However, they found a really fun loophole where Mickey Mouse did appear on the show in the form of a watermelon that Donald Duck would talk to when he was stranded on an island. It was brilliant. Washington, D.C. This place is about to turn into a cesspool of crime and ability in 2025, isn't it? Oh well, still a cool track. Makes me think of Daisy's Garden from Mario Kart DS. That's something me and Steffi are going to play when she comes to visit next month. Be a good time. Ah! I'm running out of stuff to say here, and I'm just kind of focused on the driving. As you get into the cups, the tracks do start to become more and more complex. And honestly, part of the reason I haven't unlocked Ludwig von Drake yet is because the last cup in this game, the level design is just awful. It was clearly not designed with the handling of the carts in mind, which you guys will see here soon. Once I'm finished with this cup, we're going to get into that. I might just spend the rest of the stream trying to conquer that. Even if I do manage to beat it, I'm not going to unlock Ludwig von Drake because I think you need to platinum every track in the game, which I just can't do. The Everglades. That's in Florida, isn't it? I wasn't paying attention to the map there. Well, it certainly looks like Florida. Pretty sunset, though. Oh yeah, it's definitely in Florida. Though I'm pretty sure the Everglades aren't that close to Cape Canaveral. Just spun out Donald. Ah, missed him. This music definitely does make me think of people from Florida, though. Ah. God, I hate that. The storm cloud. That's basically this game's equivalent of the blue shell from Mario Kart. It's very annoying. Ah. Ah! Take that, Minnie! I'll teach you to pass me. That was a good time. About 13 minutes left on the stream, and considering I haven't gotten any messages from anyone in the chats or Steffi, I have a feeling that I got the sound right this time. I actually have a new monitor too, which is how I'm operating everything else. Though, son of a bitch, I forgot to hit record again. At least those live streams show up in the YouTube channel. It's just a shame that I won't be able to post that as a regular video. Malibu. Oh, you can even see the waves there. That's cool. Ow. I'm glad that didn't blow up in my face. Ow! Ah! Darn it, Mickey. Definitely some tricky track design there. Out of my way, Daisy. It is eerily quiet without all the characters making a racket though, isn't it? I'm so used to just listening to them talk. That kind of reminds me of Treasure Cove, I think it is, from Diddy Kong Racing. Well, I didn't get the platinum trophy, but at least I got gold. But 10 more minutes left on the stream. It's time to see if I can finish this last cup. Still haven't been able to do it. Just to make things easier on myself, I'm going to turn the cheat on for unlimited continues. I don't know why I didn't turn that on in the first place. It doesn't stay on, unfortunately, so every time you turn the game on, you gotta remember to go turn that back on. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Going to Hawaii. You guys seen the trailer for the live-action Lilo and Stitch they're doing? It's like, Disney, come on, just stop. Oh, see, there's some tight corners in here, and if you hit the water, that's it. Just move too fast to make those turns. It's really hard to make those tight turns. I don't know how the game expects you to do this. Unlocking this thing is also a pain in the butt. There are car parts in some of the levels that you need to find, but as far as I could tell, there was nothing in the game that tells you about them. I have owned Mickey's Motor Speedway since it came out in 2000, and I never realized that there were car parts that you needed to find to unlock the final cup. It's like some weird Diddy Kong Racing crap right there. Some classic Rareware design. Stay on target. Stay on target. Ah. No. I really wish I had a first-person view. I feel like the camera's rocking back and forth a little too much. Making me a little sick. I don't get motion sick, what the hell? Okay, that's one track done. I did get a message from Steffi. She told me the sound's great. That's fantastic. Oregon. Again, I think Oregon is a little to the right of where it is on the map. Now this track isn't too bad, but there is one section that's particularly troublesome, and we're about to hit it. This section right here with the really thin track. Hey, wait a minute. There were two Deweys on screen there for a second. What is this? You see what BS that is, though? Like, on the lower difficulties, when you're slow, you can navigate that pretty easily, but when you're fast like this, That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't like my chances of catching up now. Ah! Even when you slow down, that happens. And when you hit the brakes, you turn really hard too, so it's really difficult to navigate that section of the track. Again, it just doesn't feel like they had the track design done with the way the vehicle handles in mind when they did these last couple of levels. Which is probably why they made such an effort to hide them. There we go. Didn't qualify to move on, though, which is really annoying. Isn't it punishment enough that I placed in 6th place and that would probably tank my score? I'm really glad that modern racing games don't really do that anymore. Ah! Ah, that was close. Like, you literally have to feather the gas to get through there, but the computer players don't have to do that. Ah! They pushed me off the edge. Ah! What the hell? What was that? I don't think I'm going to get much further than that, folks, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it. Alright, so Mickey Speedway USA. To be honest, this is actually a solid little kart racer. Now, that's not to say that it's a great game, per se. As I said, this falls pretty far behind Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart 64. But you know what? The controls are really polished, the presentation is great, it's a perfectly solid kart racing game. I would say its biggest issues are its balancing with the character rosters. I mean, the nephews are just so overpowered in this game. And, you know, the last couple of levels are just a huge difficulty spike because they're not really designed with the racing controls in mind. But it's still a really fun game, especially with friends, and one of the more underrated games on the Nintendo 64. If you ever see this one out in the wild, be sure to check it out because it is a fun time. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every Saturday night, typically at 8 o'clock, and what I do is I pick a game out of a hat, and I just play for an hour talking about the design and gameplay mechanics because I'm really passionate about that stuff. I do not play games from start to finish because I feel like you lose something if you aren't playing the game yourself. That being said, if there is a game that you would like me to cover in this format, leave it in the comments. If it's something I think is worth looking into, I'll add to the list and check it out. But that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Hope you all have a good work week and take care.